Hey, this is Kevin. I'm speaking to you from a new place that I live, on a new computer, new setup, whole new office, and all that sort of stuff. And I realized that I haven't been doing very much speaking, especially over the last few months of COVID. And I figured it's time to actually start doing that. I'm going to start taking advantage of my setup here and things like that. And there's a perspective that I want to bring that I've been talking about on Facebook, but I haven't necessarily been very direct about what I mean. There's this whole idea, like yesterday I posted about an article about how the administration had said, you know, we have to detain children so we can deter illegal immigration. And there's something called a fool's choice. It's when someone wants to force you into a certain type of decision where they say, you've got this or you've got this. In this case, we have to detain immigrants to stop the tide of illegal immigration, or you're going to have to spend more taxes. And I have a perspective. First off, you know, those of you all that know me know that I've gotten to travel a lot, not in the last 6 months, but I've gotten to travel a lot with my work, and I get to see all these different solutions around the world. You know, 22 countries in the 3 years before COVID started. You know, it's really great that I get to see so much. But the thing that I'm actually most concerned about is that we're being told that there's either like morals or taxes. And I know that a lot of people that are really concerned about taxes right now, about spending a lot of money. The issue at hand is we don't have to be making that choice. There's a different way of looking at it. But one of the things about being an innovator in my whole career, I have done nothing but innovation. Gone into large organizations, large corporations with some, you know, something that was going to cost the corporation a lot from the standpoint of some business process that they're having to deal with that is really expensive. And we figure out how to do it for 1/100th of the cost. This idea that politicians are telling us that we have to make a choice between something, you know, where we're trying, you know, we're struggling to pay taxes and stuff like that, but, you know, that we have to do something so immoral as take away infants from their parents on the border, that's just absolutely wrong. It's morally broke, and also intellectually bankrupt. And the idea is that there are other ways of solving these kind of problems. I've seen this around the world. All sorts of solutions. One of the great things about being able to travel so much is you can see a solution over here that just needs to be dropped in over here. We should be thinking that way. And if a politician is telling us, where in this case, you know, the United States Attorney General was saying that we have to make this choice between, you know, something that's horrific. Stop. Let's actually look for a different solution. The thing that I actually want to say about that too is, did you know that every time they're taking a child away from one of these parents, it's costing you as a taxpayer $750 per child per day, based on what you're spending right now in the United States tax. I mean, you're spending that much money per child. So this policy that is morally bankrupt is also financially bankrupt. It doesn't work. It hasn't slowed down illegal immigration. So let's figure out, let's do something different. There's all sorts of different ways. If we're going to spend that much money per child per day, you know, just think about what you could actually do. You know, it doesn't take that many days in a row for you to have spent $50,000 on that one child that was ripped out of the hands of the parent. It ends up creating long-term trauma, and then on top of that, the issue at hand is it doesn't really solve the problem. You know, economic strife, especially now, is going to happen across the border because of all the things that have happened because of COVID-19. And so we need to be smart about this. You know, those of you all that know me really well know that a lot of times I've said we could have 10 times the services, the governmental services, for 1/10 the cost. But we have to innovate. We can't, you know, keep on buying into whether Obama did it or, you know, Trump did it or whoever did it. We got to stop that. This short-sighted thinking that, you know, this report that just came out about Attorney General, you know, Jeff Sessions saying that we have to rip these children away, even if, and prosecute them, that's costing you more money than you know, and then on top of it, it's morally bankrupt. There is a better way. I would love to be discussing with anyone who wants to talk about it, about what are the solutions to actually take care of these type of issues versus just like saying that this horrific type of policy makes sense. I'm not saying I want to have illegal immigration just, open the doors or anything like that. I'm actually saying that there's ways of actually, one of the reasons that I've worked on both sides of the borders, and I'm not just saying about between Texas and Mexico, I'm also talking about into Guatemala, is in other parts of the Americas, is that we can actually solve these problems. We don't have to put up with this idea that, it's like either or. Many of the people, if you meet them, actually last July 2019, I personally went to Juarez. I personally went to the city on the other side of the border between El Paso and Juarez. And I talked to some of the people that are on the streets. I talked to some of the Hondurans that had just traveled all the way up to Mexico. Horrific conditions that they had to deal with. Just to understand, what is it that would have you do this? And you find out more. It's only by doing that sort of stuff that we're really going to solve the problem. So let's cut out this bullshit about moral bankruptcy and acting like that there's not a real solution. That's what I want to say. I just found it really upsetting that this information's coming out and that some group of people think that this is okay. It's not okay, and we don't have to do the other thing. It's not about just taking more money and throwing at it. It's actually about innovating. We could take the money that's already being spent right now and do a much, much, much better job and solve the problem. That's all I got to say. Hopefully you like this video. Thank you.